And that's right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from around the world. Welcome back to another episode of The Real Lil Show. It's going down, just so you know. And it is. Matter of fact, it's not going down, it's going up because the New York Knickerbockers is going up. Okay. You know what? I've been waiting to do this for a long time. I got my guy Lee in the building. I'm going to introduce him. He's been a regular on the show. Okay. Those of y'all know who he is already. But man, it's been a long time coming, but I know a chip gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. According to the real Lil, it will. And man, as a Knicks fan, I've been through some of the darkest times. Okay. Like right now, I'm on cloud nine. And listen, I'm just gonna ride the parade all the way to the parade, man, because it's going down. My New York Knickerbockers is out here putting belt to ass, okay? And that's what I'm talking about because we here, all right? We here, and I'm excited. I'm ready to go. It's been a minute since I did this show. It's been about almost a month since we got material going on the Real Little platform. So look, listen, I've been busy, man. Now, I mean, I'm working a regular job like the most of you guys are doing as well. So trying to fit everything into my schedule. It's been hard to do the last couple of weeks, but I'm here. I'm ready to rock and roll. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, all the moms out there. I got my guy Lee in the building. Lee, how you feeling, man?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. Again, happy Mother's Day to everyone out there. It's been a great day. I'm in Baltimore for a couple of weeks, so I'm chilling out in Baltimore, Maryland right now. But it's beautiful, beautiful. Hey, Leo, I didn't know the Northeast was so cool. I came from Texas. It's 90 degrees. I come up here, it's 60, so it's cool. But man, it's great, and I'm looking forward to the show, man. We hadn't been on in a while, so looking forward to chopping it up.
I hope you bought that jacket, man, because come October, November, yeah, man, you might be moving back to Houston pretty soon, man, if you're not used to the cold, okay? But you know what, man, Lee, I'm excited because we're going to talk about my New York Knickerbockers right now, and I'm proud of the way how we've been playing. And right now we are advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, the question that we have here is, should the Knicks avoid Giannis trade talks after advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals? But before we talk about a broader picture or a broader question like that, let's narrow it down for a little bit, work our way up. Lee, what are your thoughts on the New York Knicks? Listen, I could be here all day, so I'm going to give you the floor before I go on my little tour here. What do you think about the New York Knicks? Do they have a legitimate shot to bring home the trophy?
Well, let me say this. First of all, the Knicks are playing some of the best basketball, if not the best basketball in the playoffs right now. They started a little slow against Atlanta, but now they're executing like a fine oiled machine, and so I give them a lot of credit for how they're playing. This is the best I've seen Cat play. You know, he scored a lot of points before, Leo, but his overall game, the assist today was just on. He was just popping, just throwing assists. And I mean, and he's playing defense as well, Leo. So as a team, you know, Brunson always going to do his thing, but Bridges has played well. You know, McBride coming in doing this thing. So the Knicks are playing the best basketball I think of any team, including OKC at this point. So the question is, can they advance and win a chip? I think they'll make the finals. I really do. I think the regular season means nothing with Detroit. They're playing much better basketball than Detroit. They're going in the right direction. You know, Detroit has these mental lapses as they always had. So I picked the Knicks to come out of the East. Now, you asked me the question, though, can they win the chip? I think they can be extremely competitive towards winning the championship when they make it to the finals. I think it'll be a good finals against OKC. I do think OKC will advance. I think they'll play San Antonio. But I still give OKC just that narrowest of margins to beat the Knicks in the finals. Now, it'll be a great accomplishment, however, for the Knicks to make the finals, and that certainly be going in the right direction. Narrowly, I'll take OKC to edge out the Knicks in the finals.
I mean, look, Lee, you don't got to act like you're a hostage right now, bro. You can say it with your chest, bro. Okay? You know, you can say it with your chest. I understand I'm a Knicks fan and all that. You want to hurt my heart, All right, you don't want to crash my parade. I get it, I understand it. But look, just get into the finals, like you just alluded to at the end of your take, will be an accomplishment, and that's what I'm expecting us to do. Now, winning the chip, that's another topic. You know, OKC got a great team. Clearly, they have been a very good team. They won a championship last year. They look even better this year. You know, they got guys coming out of Wazoo that we never heard of, really, just dropping 20, in game 3. So it's like, they got a stacked team, and they're going to be a tough out to beat 4 times, right? But I would say this, to me, the Knicks team, we had players that are in our primes, right? I feel like there's still, even though the Thunder won the championship, there's still players that are growing, right? They're still a young team, they're still growing. We are in our primes, right? Like, we are a team with Jaylen Brunson in his prime, Mikal Bridges, for what he's worth is, not 5 picks, but for what he's worth in his prime. OG Anunoby in his prime, playing some of the best basketball of his career. Karl Anthony Towns playing some of the best basketball in his career in his prime. Everybody else is young. The Timberwolves, they probably a veteran team, but what shot do they have to win it? Right? The team I'm looking for, San Antonio, right? Very young. So we have a team that's in our prime, and we are primed to make an NBA Finals. But look, I want to give credit to Mike Brown. Okay. Yep. I want to give credit to him. We got to start off with him. This was no easy job, and he took it. It was no easy job. Everybody thought it was an easy job because of the talent that we had, the success that we had under Tom Thibodeau. But with all the expectations, the fan base that could be very impatient, when we were down 1-2 against the Hawks, his job was on the line. I even saw reports that even if we made it to the finals, his job was done for. So the fact that he was able to withstand the noise, he got us playing some of our best basketball that we have ever played in the last, century almost. And we are scoring points out of the wazoo, but it's not about the scoring, right? It's not about games like today that just ended in game 4 where we can't miss from deep, right? It's not even only about that. Yeah, that's nice. We make history, right? I get it. It's not about what we did to Atlanta in that game where we dropped all those points. It's about what we're doing defensively.
I agree.
We are playing some of the best defense, even over, a guy like Tom Thibodeau, who was defensive minded. We are even playing better defense right now. I believe we have the second best defensive rating in the playoffs right now. So Mike Brown has done a very good job. He's done a good job on Maxey, taking him out of the series with blitzes, with different defenders. Mikal Bridges has done a very good job on Maxey. Plus, it doesn't help that Maxey is shouldering the brunt load of the offensive responsibility in this series. Pandemic P. Okay, we talk about Hunter virus. Okay, we talk about coronavirus. Okay, we talk about your mama virus. Okay, Pandemic P is the biggest pandemic in the world right now. Okay, disappearing in the second half of ball games. Where all you, Mr. Pandemic P? Okay, shot 2 for 9 in the second half of, I believe it was game 2. 0 for 5 in the fourth quarter. Where are you now? Nowhere to be found, buddy. Okay. Game 3, scored 15 points in the first quarter. I'm like, oh, shoot. PG came to play. PG 13. But then he became PG, not PG 13. The 13 disappeared. Okay. Pandemic P in full effect. So they put a lot of responsibility on Maxey. They was already thin. They didn't have a deep team like we had. And so when you do that, when Embiid, every time he falls, he's hopping on one leg. I mean, come on. And that's why, Lee, and I'm going to send it right back to you. That's why when people was asking me, who would I rather? When it was game 7, Boston and Philly, we played who would you rather game, right? Who would you rather? Boston? Would you rather Philly? I was like, listen, give me Philly all day. Because I don't know if Embiid is going to be 100%. He hasn't shown the ability to be 100% at all throughout his career. Okay. They have a top heavy team, but they don't got no depth. We got depth. Okay. Like Pandemic P is going to disappear. It's inevitable. Okay. Give me Philly. And guess what? They gave us Philly. And guess what? We gave them an ass whooping.
Yeah. I mean, they complete domination. The one thing about Mike Brown is this. When you look back at Thibodeau and what he did and how he beat the Knicks team down all regular season and going into the playoffs, Lil, this team is much fresher. The style of play is such that's going to keep them fresh. The style of play is such that he's playing a lot of people so they can play that better defense that they're playing, right? So he deserves a lot of credit, right? Mike Brown does. He deserves a lot of credit for what he's done with the team, how he's expanded the rotation, and just how he let the guys be who he is. And the one thing I like about him, Leo, he goes with the hot hand too. He don't mind benching a player. He has the team is deep enough to where he can play who's hot. And he's done a fabulous coaching job. So kudos to Mike Brown. He's a career coach, and this is a great job that he's doing. To answer the question, though, should the Knicks avoid the Giannis trade after advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals? Look, if I can get Giannis, I'm going to get Giannis. I don't care what anybody says, Leo. They're playing great basketball. I do think, though, the matchup against OKC, if that is what happens, that's when you need a Giannis, as opposed to during the regular season. You get a Giannis to take you over the top to win the championship. So I would still say I would go after Giannis. Now, if they win a championship, then it's null and void. I just don't think that they are, and I think a Giannis will take them over the top, not just to be a NBA finalist, but to be an NBA champion.
Yeah, I don't want to hear Giannis' name again. Okay, I don't. At this point, look, Giannis is a very good player. One of the best
players. He's a great player, Leo. Don't very good. He's a great player. Come on now.
At the end of the day, right now, I'm in the moment. We are playing some of the best basketball I have ever seen. And for me, the thing that we have that a lot of teams don't have, that we wouldn't have if we made a move for Giannis, is depth. Okay, a complete basketball team. OG Anunoby was averaging 20 points in the playoffs in this series. Okay, he's playing some of the best basketball of his career. Two-way basketball went down. And guess what? A new guy stepped up. Mikal Bridges was the guy in game 3, stepped up. Game 4 was McBride in stride. Okay, doing his thing. It's a vibe. Okay, my guy was knocking. He couldn't miss. Everything was water. Everything was net. He only had 2 shots that hit the rim and went in. Okay, everything was water. So we have a bunch of guys that could come in and play. I'm sorry, I like that. I just love having the abundance of riches. And for me, all we have to do is make it to the finals, show that we can be competitive against who's coming out of the finals. And for me, that's enough to run it back. I wouldn't want to gut my roster. Yeah, sure. There's some good teams out west, but at the end of the day, I think we have a good team. Me personally, and we make it to the finals. Now, if we lose to Detroit in the Eastern Conference Finals, listen, I'll go get Giannis myself. But right now, I think we have a good team capable of being a championship contender, and that's why I will leave it as is.
Yeah, last thing I'll say, it's going to be interesting, the game against Detroit, and I do think Detroit will finish off Cleveland. It'll be interesting to really see how that series goes with the Knicks, because Philly was people forget that the Knicks were down 2-1 to Atlanta, right? Philly was a perfect matchup. I mean, you got an injured Joel Embiid. Like you said, they blitz Maxey all over the place. Paul George is really a shell of what he once was. And I'm not taking anything away from the Knicks. But the series against Detroit is going to be highly contested. It's going to be a defensive series, Lil, and we're going to see a lot. So don't just kiss goodbye the not going to get Giannis just yet. Let's see how this progresses, and let's see how this Eastern Conference final progress, and certainly the finals. But the object is to win the NBA championship. It's not to play in the NBA finals.
This is my last point. If you look at the fit, it's not guaranteed that it could work, right? Like, I think with Giannis, you're gutting out your roster because, listen, we don't have the package that a lot of teams could offer. So it's going to be a hefty package at that. And to me, there's not a guarantee that it's going to fit. If it does, it's going to take a long time to gel. You look how long it took us to get to this part where we are playing some of the best basketball. It took the whole season. This did not come out till the playoffs, midway, where we was down 1-2. Okay, so it took the whole entire season. Matter of fact, go beyond that. Last year, I didn't think Cat and Brunson was fully maximized. So we talking about a 2-year, ordeal to get us to this point where we playing this type of basketball. We can't afford that. We don't got 2 more years. The time is right now. And to me, this team is capable of making it happen right now. I don't know what Giannis holds. I don't know. This guy's injury prone as well. Okay, I don't want to do with that. I'm sorry. Giannis is a very good player, but we got to stop acting like this is NBA 2K, bro. Okay, we have a good team. We have a deep team. The Nuggets wish they had a couple of our players to come off that bench. They got Murray. They got Jokic. Okay, they got all the talent in the world. They got the best 2-man game in the game. But guess what? Where the bench at? Nowhere to be found. Give them a couple of our guys. They're a championship team right now. They probably beat OKC. They almost did last year. So again, we cannot underestimate the power of depth. We got that.
Spoken like a true New Yorker that's riding a high right now about
Cloud 9, Lee. Cloud 9. Cloud 9. Not District 9. All right. Not like the movie. Cloud 9. All right. But anyway, we are going to move on. I could talk about my Knicks all day, but we got stuff to do. We got the topics here. We might as well move on. And speaking of New York Knicks, our rivals, Boston. Okay, what we doing here, Boston? How should we feel about Jaylen Brown's favorite season statement? And the second part to the question is, should they keep the J duo together, meaning Jason Tatum and Jason Brown? Now, Lee, before I pass the mic to you, I'm going to play that clip from Jaylen Brown and let the people hear it. And then, Lee, proceed as you need.
Yeah. It's a group. So proud of this group and the way we played. I wish we trusted that style of play a little bit more, but I know playoffs kind of shifted our rotations and what we wanted to do. But I'm so proud, and it was my favorite year of my basketball career. One, streaming with you guys, chat, was awesome. Like being able to talk to y'all was like therapy every single day. You know what I mean? I mean, not every day, like once a week or whatever, what I was doing. Just to be able to get on here and give y'all the perspective and kind of, because, these narratives be going left and right.
All right, Lee, your thoughts on Jaylen Brown's favorite year comments?
Yeah, I was I was a big Jaylen Brown fan, Leo. Very, very smart brother. Highly educated and very intellectual. But he's getting on my nerves now. He's just starting to get on my nerves. He's starting to irk me in a lot of ways, right? He's not the same guy. Look at how he looks right now. He's not the same guy from a couple of years ago. He's starting to get on my damn nerves. That's what he's starting to do. And the comment about his best season, I mean, we could say that he was misquoted, but he wasn't. It came right out of his mouth. You just won the championship 2 years ago. What do you mean it was the best season, your favorite season? You just won a championship, Jaylen. So what does that mean? Does it mean it was my best season because Jason Tatum wasn't there and I got to show that I'm a superstar? Is that what he means by that? Well, let me say this about being a superstar, Leo. You had the chance to win Game 7 on your home court at home. Bring that shit home then if you are the superstar and it's your favorite season. No, man, you laid an egg at home in Game 7. So I don't want to hear it. That pisses me off when he says that, to be honest with you. I mean, come on, man. So I have a lot of respect for him, but I don't like this Jaylen Brown, man. This Jaylen Brown getting on my nerves. And so I think that I don't know if it was a shot per se at Jason Tatum. I think because he was the lead dog all year, he's feeling a certain way, But look, let's be honest, Leo. That's Jason Tatum's team in the discussion. I'll turn it back over to you.
I mean, look, how do I feel about it? You see, I think right here, we have a competitive problem with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. I'm going to tell you how I see it. Okay. And this is just my opinion. I'm not these brothers. Shoot, I like to be these brothers. They making a lot of money. They dribble basketball. They won a championship. Shoot, we can trade places. But at the end of the day, for me, I think we have a competitive problem. Now, there's a difference between competitive and dislike. I don't think Jaylen Brown and Tatum dislike playing with each other. I just think they have a competitive problem. You see, let me use this from life experience. I remember a couple years ago when I was at my other job, my sales job, I had a friend, still my dude to this day. Salute to my guy Andrew, right? Right. And we were working together, and we would like be competitive against each other on the job. Let's see who get the most appointments. Anytime I drop an appointment, I knew Andrew was gonna drop an appointment. We was pushing each other, right? Oh yeah, he get 5 appointments. I'm mad. You know what I'm saying? I'm mad. I want to listen. It's my show. It's my town. It's my ball. Okay, but guess what? At the end of the day, me and Andrew gonna get on a call and talk about it right after the day. Oh, I see you got 4. I got 5. Friendly, competitive, and to me, that's what I see here. Friendly, competitive. All right. Look at Tatum trying to rush back. Oh, Jaylen Brown, you gotta know the love now. That used to be me. And now I got the Achilles injury, and the Brown is doing his thing. They said it was going to be a down year without me. Guess what? They're the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference without me. Nah, I got to rush and get back. Okay. That's how I see it, to be honest with you. And I think Jaylen Brown saw this year as a golden opportunity to say, you know what? That narrative is out there that I couldn't lead my own team. So guess what? I'm going to show that I could do it. That doesn't mean I like the comment, right? Because I do believe that today's player, today's athlete is very, very different. We live in, and I see why you may have disliked Jaylen Brown now. Look, I'm a Jaylen Brown fan, still am. I see a different Jaylen Brown like you. I do. I see a Jaylen Brown that probably is feeling himself a little bit. I get it. You know, we all change at some point, right? Especially when we become successful. That's what's happening with Jaylen Brown. No different from any other person. LeBron James was one player when he came into the league, and then when we got to the decision, different player, unlikable player to me. Same thing with KD. He looked like the role model of NBA. All this guy wanted to do was hoop. And then guess what? He went to the Warriors. Personality, different type of guy. Creating burners, calling out his teammates, calling his teammates trash, undercover brother from another mother. Okay, unlikable. So what happens when these players, James Harden, another guy, we was rooting for him. He was a 6 man. Okay, yeah, get your shine, brother. Get your own team. And guess what? Trade requests. Okay? That's what happened. Listen, this is what's going on. Draymond Green, the perfect role player. Yeah. You know, he don't get the love because Curry's on that team, Clay's on that team, but he do his thing. Guess what? Go tell it on the podcast. Unlikable. Yeah. So what happens? Yeah. It happens all the time. Jaylen Brown is no different. And I say that to say that the new modern athlete right now is totally different. Ask a guy like Tom Brady in the NFL, one of my favorite athletes of all time. If not, he is my favorite athlete of all time. Why? Because he was always team. Right? You ask him what was his favorite NFL season. I bet you, I don't know if it's going to be on Tampa or it's going to be on New England, but it's damn sure going to be a year he won a championship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
And you ask him what was his worst season? Oh, yeah. The team that went undefeated and lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
So we have a different kind of athlete today. Just in line with society and where society is going. We have a different youth today. All right, a different set of individuals today, and Jaylen Brown is no different. Now, do I hate it? Do I like it? It's really irrelevant for me. Right? Now, the question is, should they keep the J duo? And for me, we got to stop this nonsense of trying to break these guys up. We've been doing that for years. I thought when they won the championship, that conversation was over. But it's not, clearly. And I think that's another thing that played into Jaylen Brown's psyche was all the narratives. He was in trade rumors for all these years. In 2021, he was in trade rumors for Kevin Durant. In 2019, he was in trade rumors for Anthony Davis. And he allowed the media to go in there and almost try to divide the locker room to an extent. And I think that played in his head. Oh, he can't be the number one guy. He needs his own team. People juicing that in his head. And guess what? He had a golden opportunity to have his own team this year, and he rode that dopamine. And that's where we are right now.
Yeah, but let me say this. I don't break them up now because I mean, would I trade Jaylen Brown to Milwaukee for Giannis? Absolutely. Tomorrow. Tomorrow, I would do it because it gives you a different style of play, someone you can throw the ball in the post that commands at them. So absolutely I would. But short of that, and short of getting somebody of that ilk in a trade, why would you break it up? So the answer I would say to breaking it up is no, unless you have a blockbuster deal. But the one thing that I will say, Boston got to do some soul searching. The way they play basketball does not work. It worked a couple years ago, but man, oh man, it's not working now. You got bounced in the first round, Celtics. Let's be honest. This wasn't in the second round or the Eastern Conference Finals. You got bounced in the first round, right? So let's not act like they had a long one. No, the philosophy didn't work. Mazzulla's philosophy didn't work. He rolled that to the end. So their philosophy has to change. And also the makeup of the team has to change, Lil. They need some post presence. They need somebody that they can throw the ball into and be a threat down low. And they need to change that, not just shooting 3-3-3, live and die with the three. That's over with. That didn't work. But I certainly would keep both of them at this point. Now, would I put a backdoor flyer out there to see, what's out there? And if I could call Milwaukee and say, do you want Jaylen Brown, and I'll take Giannis? Absolutely. But short of that, no, I wouldn't break it up. I'd keep them just like they are.
I don't even know if I would do it for Giannis. I mean, Jaylen Brown is at the top of his game. If you didn't do it before when KD was in his prime and available, when Anthony Davis was in his prime and available, you didn't make those moves because you said, you know what, Jaylen Brown, although not a finished product, he has potential. And obviously you see that potential on full display this year, having his best statistical season of his entire career. So to me, I would not trade bait with a guy at the prime of his career, younger than a guy that, to be honest with you, only got a few years left. To me, that's a little bit too risky. I think they just need to figure it out. And listen, if I were to trade anybody, I don't know if it would be Jaylen Brown. I'm gonna just leave that there. I don't want to open up a can of worms, okay? Because to me, he's the real leader of this team. Say what you want and get Lee. I get it. He's totally different. He's acting a little bit different. The personality is coming out. He's feeding into the success a little bit. He's doing the live streams, doing the games, right? He's doing what a lot of other players are doing. I get it. But when he's on that court, he's a leader. That's one thing I can say. He's a leader when he's on that floor. So for me, the problem that I do have with Jaylen Brown, the problem that I do have with Tatum and that whole entire Celtics team was the way how they handled that blown 3-1 lead. Because there's no way in the world that Tatum should be out here giggling like a hyena with the opposing team when you just lost and you didn't even play in that game. You didn't even play with your team, season on the line, and yet after the game immediately you over here laughing like Angelina the ballerina. No, that's not cool, bro. What happened to the competitive edge? Okay, and then Brown, what I don't like and what I think is wrong is you hopping right on that podcast. Listen, I think it was hours after the loss. I don't even think it was a full day. Okay, it may have been a full day, but it wasn't more than that. It probably was hours right after the game was over, right after you blew a 3-1 lead on your home floor. Okay, lost 3 games in this series at home, and you going on the podcast? Listen, I remember when teams used to lose, and we ain't see them for a year.
Yeah. What does it tell you? What does it tell you? It tells you, Lil, that the biggest personality on that team can't be Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. They need a coach that is a bigger than life personality now that can get them. They've always been great, Tatum and Brown together. But now they need someone. It's very similar to when the Lakers had Shaq and Kobe and they never could get over the hump and win a championship, and they brought the pedigree of Phil Jackson in there. They need somebody else because Mazzulla's not the one. Mazzulla inherited a great team. He inherited a team that was a championship caliber team, and they did their thing. Well, you're going to have to change philosophies. How you play basketball needs to change. They need a post president. I just disagree. I would take Giannis in a heartbeat. And it's the best time to trade Jaylen Brown is right now. And let me say this. Jaylen Brown's not a better player than Jason Tatum. Not on any day of the week, 7 days straight. He's not a better player.
It's not a far gap. If you want to go that route, it's not a far gap. Tatum obviously has more upside. Like, he has more ceiling than Brown. He's a better facilitator. Overall player, sure. I'll give you that, but it's not by a significant margin to me. I think Jaylen Brown's a top 15 player. Tatum is right along top 10. Like, he's like 11, close to top 10. Like, they have like 4 players in front of and next to them, like apart. So to me, the thing I would say here is the reaction to these blown leads, to me, is ironic. Did you know that Boston not only lost 3 games at home? That was number one. They disrespected their fans. They lost 3 games at home in this series. Not to mention the same floor that Miami ended their season in a Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals. The same floor that Steph Curry took their hearts out when they had an opportunity to go up 3-1 in the finals, only to lose the next game at home. In Game 6, they lost at home. Okay, mind you, lost Game 1 and 2 at Boston at home last year in the Eastern Conference Finals to my New York Knickerbockers. Okay, to me, the theatrics after the game is mind-blowing to me. Like, it's mind-blowing. Like, to me, I just can't get around that. So to me, I'm looking at a team, and this is my last point, and Lee, if you got one more take in you, by all means, this is my last take on this topic. To me, I'm looking at a Boston team that lost their hunger. They got to the mountaintop. They don't want it no more. They don't want it no more. And guess what? Philly wanted it more, right? They wanted it more in that series, and that's why they advanced. Unfortunately for them, they got both to ass against my New York Knickerbockers. But guess what? They wanted it more in that moment, more than Boston. And that's why Boston is in Cancun, and that's why Philly now is in Cancun as well.
Look at the coaching, Leo. You got to follow. Follow what's the missing piece. It's the coaching and the style of play. Those are the 2 things. When you say how they could just be so nonchalant, look at the coaching and how that's set up, and it'll go straight to that. That's an issue. That's an issue with the Celtics that need to be corrected.
Agreed.
Sports, politics, conspiracy theories. We are here to give you our unique perspectives on things happening in the world. It's the one and only The Real Lil on The Real Lil Show.